Antonio Conte gives Pep Guardiola a run for his money. Actually, he's actually kept Liverpool in a good position to take the lead because presently they're only 6 points away from Man City. And they're playing Leeds on Wednesday, and Leeds are shit this season. So obviously, by the time they're done with Leeds, they'll be 3 points behind Man City. Let's get into the game. Let's see how Antonio Conte was able to beat Man City 3-2. This time, Antonio Conte did his homework. If you look at Harry Kane's interview, he was saying that this formation they did was a purely counter-attack formation. This time, Tottenham Hotspurs were only playing with two striking players. As usual, they come with a 3-4-3 formation, but this time they were 4-4-2. They knew very well that Man City, they like to play a high press, leaving only two defenders behind. The whole team, Pep likes to play with five players in front. That is the three forwards and the two wing backs. So he pressed the Tottenham Hotspur's five-man defense behind with his five players, leaving his behind part exposed with only two defenders. This time we watch Harry Kane's interview. He was saying that the whole week they were training for a counter-attack, meaning when Lloris gets the ball, he would give it to Sassion, and Sassion would hit an air ball all the way to Son, and Son would run with the ball past the two centre backs who were left to the midfield, stretching the defense. And as the defense stretched, Son runs the ball. Harry Kane could come from a midfield position, run in between the two defenders, get the ball and score. So this whole time, Conte was just counter-attack. Knowing that Man City like to sit deep into the opponent's box, leaving only two central defenders behind, he knew he can get them on the counter-attack. And Son has an incredible speed. And Harry Kane, once he gets the ball, 99 out of 100 is putting that ball inside. He's very accurate. So Conte played with the counter-attack technique. As usual, Pep Guardiola was playing with the pressing technique. They pressed Spurs 80% of the game. 80% of the game they were in the Spurs half. But how Spurs were able to get those 3 goals were through counter-attack. And how Pep Guardiola was able to get those 2 goals were through pressing. He pressed Spurs to the point that they made mistakes and they conceded a penalty. But Spurs were able to, Spurs knew that Man City will sit deep in their half, have all the bodies there. Spurs were actually a 5-3-2 after the midfield. So they were really inside. And what Spurs were doing, they were doing air attacks. They were hitting the ball over the Spurs wall. And every time they hit that, Son and Kane, and this time they only played with 2 strikers. There were not 3 wingers, 2 wingers and 1 striker. It was only 2 strikers, Son and Kane. They're the ones who were causing havoc in the Man City's half. And that is why Harry Kane came with 3 beautiful goals. Hat-trick for Harry Kane. Everybody knew that Man City is going to beat Spurs because Spurs have not been on their form this season. They've been beaten by other teams like Chelsea. They were beaten by Wolves. Actually, Wolves were more of a goalkeeper mistake. The reason why Spurs conceded these 2 goals, one was that one of the defenders, when the ball was being hit by Cancelo from the left-hand side, if he left his arm up and the ball hit the arm and they conceded a penalty. The first goal was more of Lloris' mistake because this time Lloris has been conceding a lot of goals. He's very clumsy behind, and that's something Antonio Conte has to put to book. He has to sort this issue of Lloris being very careless in his own half. The way he saves the ball, the way he approaches the ball, instead of catching the ball, he punches the ball, and that ball, if it lands in the opponent's legs, he bangs the goal inside. That means that he makes Spurs to lose the game by conceding a lot of goals. So Antonio Conte has to sort the goalkeeping issue out. He has to get a good goalkeeping coach. He has to sit Lloris down and tell him, listen, when you're going for the balls, don't punch the ball or don't kick the ball. Try and hold the ball, save it, and supply it in for a counter-attack or an attack. So thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, take care.